I can't believe, do you shaved your legs for your Zone 2 riding up in your attic?
I shaved my legs today to do the podcast. And my wife said I shouldn't do it, and I shouldn't have done it. What am I doing? And I was like...
What's your fascination with Campagnolo?
It's the best.
Fucking stupid question.
I just freaking glad about it. Ah! If G does Zone 2, I'm going to do Zone 2.
The name's Athena Group Set. Yeah.
Athena Group Set. Oh.
Massive, right? Super cushy.
On gravel, I'll go for some super cushion. Running pretty tight on cash. That's what it sounds like. We've blown the budget on the frame and the group set. We can't probably even afford a chain. I'm not gonna go just be like trashing on Shimano the whole time. Like, get your fishing gear out of here, you know, and then like throw it on my gravel bike. You know, I guess I want to check out Girona, see what all these, you know, influencer people are talking about. You know,
I hear it's just like Pinarellos and lattes. We got Lenny here, GravelandPave on Instagram. I'm so excited to have you on the show. I feel like I actually am now getting to sit down with someone I admire and a friend of mine, I get to say now, because we've ridden together. Ride or die, right?
Yeah, you betcha, buddy. For sure. Big time.
So how did I find you? I found you on Instagram, and I just started messaging you and supporting your stuff because you encompass to me what riding is all about. Yeah, it's about racing and like pushing your limits, all that crap. But like, it's about having a good fucking time. Oh yeah. And Lenny has a good fucking time on the bike. So what do you do on the bike, Lenny?
What do I do on the bike? I like to, you know, keep the stoke high for sure.
Yeah.
Like getting after meters. That's my thing. Meters and I like doing like crazy challenges. That's usually what I go for. That's what gets me hyped. So yeah, stoke.
That's fantastic. But like, I don't understand why you always go for like huge elevation on your rides. You're a big guy. You're tall. You usually see maniacs like me sub like 60 kilograms doing the like high meter challenges. But
yeah, I don't know how I got into like just the meter challenge thing, or like not even a challenge, but I don't know. It was like at a point, I guess the first time I ever did a mountain climb. Yeah. And then I was just like, the first time I ever climbed a mountain, after I got to the top and then got to the bottom.
Yeah.
I called my best friend and was like screaming on the phone, like in his ear. I was like, I just freaking climbed about it. And like freaking out. And it was like 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. And he was like, what? And I was like, I just climbed to the top of the mountain. I did like 80. I was doing like 9. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing calling me? You know? And I was like, I just climbed a mountain. And then from there, it was just like, that's always what I wanted to do.
That's the spirit of cycling, right?
Yeah.
It's like you get into it so hard. How many years ago was that?
Ooh, that's... I'm old. So I'm going to say 15 years.
Damn. And what mountain?
Cypress was my first mountain climb. Yeah. Big time.
Yeah. Holds it in your heart strong. This year you did Seymour Sub 50. What did that feel like? That bring you back, all the emotions? You had to think about your entire life in the last 5 minutes of doing that climb?
No, I mean, like, not my entire life, for sure. The 250 times I've climbed up the mountain was flashing in my eyes, like, finally did it, and was, like, super stoked. And, yeah, that was about it, you know? It was, like, that's been a goal for forever. I mean, yeah, anytime anyone's ever talked to me about it, I've been like, I want to do sub 50, and as a bigger dude,
it's serious watts.
Yeah,
you pushing the pedals. Hey,
yeah.
How did you do it though? Like, it was years of leading up to it, or you had a buddy who was always kind of like towing you up and pacing you all the way up that climb?
Yeah, I mean, the loud crew dudes I ride with are definitely push me to the limit all the time. You know, I ride with younger guys who are like every ride, like they're like, oh, that ride's. I have a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, who if the ride doesn't do over like 2,000 meters, he's like, boring, foo-foo. And I'm like, what? That was so hard. And he's just like, that was pretty boring. And I'm like, I was dead the whole way, you know? So
is this just a BC Vancouver thing? I really feel like it is, because we had a social media, like, I'll say icon come down to Vancouver, and he started riding with us, and like we started doing these hill climbs and mountain climbs, and he was like, I don't do this. What? This is so painful for me. And the guy does a lot of kilometers, but I think it's a Vancouver thing. We love the climbing and we're used to it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we were so lucky to have 3 mountains
Right
right there. Like that's 20 minutes from my door, so being able, like, having the option to do it is just like, yeah, super privileged. But
okay,
like,
and then the hot take of that is, why don't we produce elite cyclists in Canada? Yeah, we do in Ontario. I get it. There's like Mike Woods and like, you got the Derek G doing his thing, but they're all on the East Coast. Like, I just don't get it.
I mean,
there's Lenny.
No, I don't know. I've never been into the race side of cycling. It was never, the competitive side of cycling has never like grasped me. I mean, besides like doing like ultras, the idea of doing like an ultra and trying to go for that gets
like
me
a
stoked.
BC Epic, like 1,000 kilometers.
BC Epic, like next year I want to do Tour Divide.
Yeah.
And I want to do it in like a decent time. But like, yeah, that is what pushes me and makes me want to race and go hard. But yeah, I've never, the idea of like, I mean, I guess when I got into cycling too late to be an elite racer or even think about it, So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. I'm not too sure why there isn't,
It's a question I ponder every time I'm riding up Cyprus.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do we not have elite cyclists here coming out of Vancouver? They're amazing. They're elite in their own regard, but no one's going out there and signing for Ineos Grenadiers. And it just, for some reason, doesn't happen. But that's a whole other conversation. I'll leave it for BC Cycling to answer that. Okay, Zone 2, you make it look easy. You preach it every day on Instagram. For me, it's a death march. I hate it.
Oh, I love it.
Please explain to me. Convert me. 'Cause
Okay.
it's just pain for me, and I hate it.
So I heard one of my favorite cyclists,
Yeah.
G, talk about Zone 2 once.
Yep.
Mr. Grant Thomas.
Yeah.
And he just said he was talking about like training up and getting ready for the Giro, one of my favorite race.
Yes.
And he was just like, talking. He was just like, yeah, I just do Zone 2. And then like a few months before, I just start chucking in some intervals. And I was like, if G does Zone 2, I'm going to do Zone 2. And then I just talked to a few friends and I was like,
Yeah.
if you do Zone 2 every day, will you like burn yourself out or hurt yourself? They're like, no, fill your boots, man. No one does Zone 2 every day. And I was like, I'm going to do Zone 2 every day. So yeah, I don't know. It's just like a place for me to like plug in some tunes, lose some thoughts, think about things, and just get a good hour of cardio and work on the base.
It seems that is what they all preach now. It is so in fashion. Every YouTube video, every like coach is like, yeah, 3 hours, 4 hours, Zone 2. Do it like 3-4 times a week. You'll be so strong. I hate that it works because it worked last year for me, but I hate it. I hate indoor training. I think it's just awful. But perhaps I haven't found my thing with it yet.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like I can't do more than an hour. Over an hour is just like, oh my gosh. I've done over an hour before, but like once you get to the 30-minute mark, you're like, oh, wow, sweet. I just listened to some Bob Seger, like let's fire on another album. Yeah, and let's go. We're good to go for sure.
And where's your pain cave? It's in an attic. It's very cold.
It's in the attic.
Yes.
It's I call it the asbestos attic. It's never been tested.
Okay.
Maybe there isn't. I don't know. But I live in like an old East Van house where a friend of mine used to live up there, and there was like the attic, and he just took a chainsaw to the ceiling and cut a giant hole in the ceiling. And then now there's like furniture up there. There's the pain caves up there. I got a little woodworking shop up there. It's great.
That's perfect. We'll do infectious control in season 3, so we'll check it out. But like that tracks. That tracks. So this summer I got to ride with you, I'll say a few times.
Yeah.
One of the most fun I've had is seeing you at like 200 kilometers, 10K away from the line at Belgian Waffle Ride in BC. Just so cracked. I was so cracked when I saw you. I might as well have smoked 17 joints, and that's what 200 kilometers felt like at that point. What was that like for you? Because I felt like you're a pro at doing these ridiculous challenges on gravel bikes.
I was like, had a slow leak in one of my tires.
Yeah.
Like someone was like, dude, your bike sounds like an e-bike riding behind me. It's like you have the fattest tires I've ever seen. And it was just like it was pushing like a cement block around like all day long, and then I had in my mind, here's this amount of elevation. Like they said, this is how much elevation's on the race.
Yeah.
And like halfway through, I was like, we're going to be way over this halfway. So I like stopped and smoked a joint. And like, yeah, I was thundered. Like I was out of my mind, like totally cracked. Like it was brutal.
It was amazing. I'm so glad I did it. Yeah, so glad I saw you. But then what I think broke me into pieces is just seeing Tyrone just in the last like 5 kilometers just past me. No problem. He's like, yeah, man, we're almost done. I'm having such a good time out here. This is amazing. I'm like, you're on a fixed gear bike, my man. And I am crying on my like carbon bike with gears.
Yeah. Tyrone won tickets to that. So I got, and he was like,
yeah,
do you want to come? And I was like, I mean, if there's anyone I do it with, I'm going to do it with you. So I got to spend a whole weekend with Tyrone. I rented a hotel room for the both of us. We stayed in a room.
Cute.
And, it was very cute.
Yeah.
And then, like, the whole time we were out riding, I was just like, because I saw him at the beginning, then I never saw him really.
Yeah.
Again. And I was like, how is he doing this? This is like the single track tech stuff. I had the dropper down on the gravel bike. I was way back. I was like, this is wild, you know?
Yeah.
And then like at the end, across the finish line, I'm like, and everyone's like, yeah, blah, blah. And then I was like, man, I just wonder where Tyrone is. And I turn around and look, and there he is, like coming across the finish line, and he like does this big skid, as you do when you have a fixed gear.
Yeah.
Jumps off and just gives me a big hug. And I was like, you legend. I have no idea how he did it.
What do you learn from Tyrone? Because for me, it's like, just be happy in the moment. Be grateful you're here. It's okay you're suffering. You're a human being. It's all good.
Yeah, I feel like I channel a lot of the same vibes of Tyrone, and the fact of like staying stoked. Like that's my thing. I've never been like a Terminator face. Like look at like I've had people where you like roll up at a stop sign and you like wave at someone. You're like, hey, and they're just like, and then just don't say anything, and you're like, whoa, cheers, you know?
Yeah.
And Tyrone to me has always just like embraced that like everyone's welcome. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, what you're riding.
Yeah.
That to me from him is something that like I always need to improve on more myself, you know? Mm-hmm. As a person who got into cycling and then kind of like got into the rules, you know, like shaves his legs every day, you know, wants the kit to look mint.
I can't believe, do you shaved your legs for your Zone 2 riding up in your attic?
I shaved my legs today to come to this, to do the podcast.
We'll get B-roll after that. That's good. Good.
Yeah.
I love this because we get to talk to so many elite athletes on this show, and it's fantastic for me. But talking to you, I don't want to say it, Lenny, but like you're the spirit of cycling. I don't want to say gravel because I'm just gonna get destroyed. But yeah, that's the spirit of cycling. Like keep the stoke high, have a great time, do wicked challenges, improve yourself, and put the positive vibes out there.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. Like, I totally resonate with what you're saying. Going out 4:00, beautiful day in Vancouver. I'm riding my bike. I see some mammal. Yeah. So a middle-aged man with Lycra.
Yeah.
And I give them a wave, a little peace sign. Dead. Nothing. Inside.
Yeah.
Dead. I'm like, who hurt you, man?
Yeah.
Don't bike. You look so sad. Go golf or something. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? I mean, I shouldn't be judging people, obviously, but
it's something I need to work on as well, too.
Right?
You know, I do it. I find myself doing it too. You know, I'm like I don't know. Like the one time I said like waved at a person and then they didn't wave back. You know, and I was like, "What's up, bro? Like,
do we need to talk about this?
Do we need to talk about it?" I was like, "I just climbed 5,000 meters and I'm stoked. I'm waving at you, you know, and you didn't say anything back."
Yeah.
And then I carried on my ride, and then I thought to myself, I was like, maybe that guy just doesn't want to say hi. Like, don't be like and then I was now I'm being a judgmental person. You know, it just, so that's what I get from Tyrone. I try to embody that, like, stay stoked, stay friendly. And then also like, I don't need to get angry at the guy that doesn't wave back to me for sure.
Yeah, we take things personally on the bike, but we spend way too much time in our minds. I want to talk about the gravel nightmare because I really wanted to do it. I was ready to go to do it, and it just didn't work out from like a physical standpoint and a family standpoint. So take us through it. 1 minute. What happened?
Yeah, it was fun. It's great. So the nightmare starts Horseshoe Bay Ferry. Everyone loads on the boat. There was like 80 people getting on the 6:30 boat. So it's fall, so it's dark.
Yeah.
And then you ride from Nanaimo to Victoria.
So 200K.
200K.
Yeah.
With like, I think 2,000 meters, close to 2,000 meters or something like that.
Up the Malahat.
Up the Malahat and through all like, there is some road. The first like 30 or 40K is road. And then after that is like all gravel. And then there's some like gravel outside of it or paved parts outside of Victoria. But yeah, it was great. I feel this year was a lot of people, good times, but dark, cold. And when you're out there, you are out there and anything can happen to you. Like I did it the previous year.
Yep.
Guy joined our pack. He smoked a rock, like his rotor clipped a rock, and he went OTB, and like his rotor like totally mushroomed, and they didn't have a front brake. He was in the middle of nowhere. He was like, I don't know, I'm gonna get home. I was like, well, it looks like you're pulling your pads out so you can keep riding and then try to find somewhere to go. And he's like, my wife said I shouldn't do it, and I shouldn't have done it. What am I doing? And I was like, well, good luck, man. See you later. You know, but like, yeah, it's you got to be pretty prepared, and it's terrible weather. It's great. It's fun. I had a blast. Apparently, we were so loud and screaming so many times that like there was a group behind us, and then I got a message the next day. They were like, "Yo, you were rolling through some neighborhood, and someone came out of their house with a flashlight and came at us, and we're like, whoever's in front of you guys, tell them to shut up, keep it down." I was like, they were like, that was Lenny for sure.
yeah, that is the spirit of gravel.
Yeah, the spirit of gravel.
I think if you're in British Columbia or you're thinking about it, do the gravel nightmare. It's a great time. I always see it. I need to do it next year on a mountain bike and just be completely overbiked. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
The thing that probably attracts me the most to what you do on Instagram is the fact that you're like very open about smoking cannabis. You know, hit some magic mushroom tabs.
Oh yeah.
Have a sick gravel ride on Burnaby Mountain. First of all, tell me about that experience, how it all started with mixing a recreational, very legal drug with cycling. How did that all start?
I mean, I got into cycling originally, like I moved to Vancouver. I got into cycling as a method to get to and from the punk gig. You know, like, I need to go to this punk gig. Like, I moved to the city to, like, join a punk rock band.
Yeah.
And then, like, to get to and from places were, like, on bikes. And at that time in my life, pre-being California sober,
yes,
they weren't maybe legal or recreational drugs that I would be on riding around on a bike, you know? So, I don't know. I guess it's always something I've kind of done.
Yeah.
And then, I think just the mushroom and weed thing is just kind of like, every ride I'm smoking weed pretty much. It mellows my mind out, lets me talk, like, gets me going. But the mushroom thing, I think, I did like...
that's a special occasion thing.
I'm not going out every Saturday and like doing magic mushrooms and losing my mind in the woods. Like I've had a few people come up to me and they're like, "Hey man, how you doing?" Whoa! And I'm like, I'm not on magic mushrooms right now for sure. But I don't know. That's it's a good time, you know?
It makes for incredible content. I love it. I think you're the only one I've ever seen on Instagram and social media that like documents it and makes it look so much fun.
I'll give everyone a warning. It's maybe not going to make any of your bike handling skills any better. I don't know.
I
definitely like maybe the weed. I don't know. Like calms you down a little bit. You know, when you're doing some techie mount when you're like under biking.
Yeah.
But the mushrooms. Yeah, like that. I did it one time and I was like, oh, that was great. And then I did it another time and I couldn't get over any bridge. I couldn't go over any bump. I was like falling over all the time. I was just like cry laughing the entire time. So, you know, maybe not the best idea for sure. But
that's okay. Stoked is just hot. You're one of the few people I get to ride with and talk about all the stuff happening in pro cycling and just in a very like open, opinionated way. And I must say, I was thinking of you the other day when I was hearing that Mark Cavendish is apparently trying to come back. He needs one more
baby.
You know, millions of dollars, an entire team down the toilet for the entire year, just so Mark Cavendish can have his one win at the Tour de France. How do you feel?
I'm stoked. I am so fired up for Cav. If he does it, when I heard he was coming back, The Mannix missile, I'm fired up. I can't. Fastest man on 2 wheels, Yeah, big time.
Oh, did you watch the documentary?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did I shed a tear?
Yeah.
Big time.
Many tears were shed. Yeah. I didn't understand the level of kind of like mental health stuff he dealt with. I mean, I guess unsurprisingly, when you're one of the best in the world at something and you're, challenging the status quo all the time, but it's very inspirational.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like, I mean, it's cool that he's like open and talking about his mental health. And I mean, like,
and the wife is a champ. She needs a fucking medal.
Wow. Yeah. Big time. For sure. I was like, whoa, you're getting back on the bike? Really?
Yeah.
I was like, really? Oh man, your wife really loves you. For sure. You guys are in a good spot, I guess. Good deal.
They've had some good conversations, clearly.
Yeah.
I want to see him win. Do I think he's going to win? No. But I'm saying that because Lance Armstrong went out and was like, yeah, you're crazy if you think Mark Cavendish is going to win a stage at the Tour. And then he won like 3 or 4 of them, right? So I'm going to say, Mark Cavendish, you are not winning a stage at the Tour. So go win that stage at the Tour.
Okay. I see what you're doing there. Little reverse side.
Yeah. But, what was the big thing from pro cycling this year that you loved?
Oh, screaming for G at the Giro. G for Giro, baby. G for the Giro. Oh, I was so wrecked when he did that helmet change. Oh,
so good.
Oh, and the Jumbo, and then I'm a Tadej guy. Like, I love Poggy. Like, Poggy's not as much anymore now that he's not on Campag. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Get rid of that crappy Dura-Ace power meter. That thing isn't working. You could do way better.
Yeah.
And like, so I was screaming for Poggy, but G at the Giro was like, I was dialed. I was in there. I was watching every day. I was like waking up early. I was screaming at the TV. I was having it. Yeah. That was my thing. That was my race of the year. And then anytime Poggy.
And that fan, I guess he rides for like Red Kilo, was out there in Italy just like screaming at him on the mountain stages. I don't know if you saw that clip where, the guy was like, oh yeah, these mountains, Victoria makes these mountains look like a bitch. And I'm like, yeah. I'm sure Derek got that when he's climbing up. I'm just completely redlined.
You're like, yeah. And then he's probably thinking in his head, he's like, Victoria doesn't have any real climbs. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So good. I think my big moment this year from pro cycling was just seeing Jumbo like at the Vuelta, and the like drama, the soap opera of like 3 guys, 2 of them clearly stronger. Sorry, Sep. Should have totally like taken it, but in true cycling fashion, they had some tough conversations in the bus and let Sepp Kuss ride away with the Vuelta win.
The evil empire.
Yeah.
The old Jumbo.
Yeah.
No fun. Like, I don't know. Okay, like, good on y'all. You've done your thing. You've worked hard. Obviously, you know what you're doing.
Lenny, you're in the bus. You are Jonas. Do you say, fuck you to the team directors? I'm going to go win the Vuelta. I'm going to have a Tour win and a Vuelta win. Forget this American Sepp Kuss. My FTP is way higher than his. Let's go.
Jonas on the bus is Darth Vader. So
I think he's Gollum, but whatever.
Yeah, Gollum, sure. Precious. He's sitting there like force choking out the team. Like, he's like force choking him out. And like, yeah, I mean, he could have won. Sure. I don't know. They probably, but like,
yeah,
you got to give out Sepp, man. I don't know. He was deadly. I was stoked for Sepp, for sure. But like, yeah, Jonas was probably choked, I mean, look at the fallout, the whole,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a Jumbo guy though.
I know.
I'm just like,
okay. So which team do you kind of pull for every year then? This year?
That's the thing. I guess I never really pulled for any team. I pull for G because he's old, and he's got that zone too.
Yeah.
And then I pull for Poggy, because I know deep down in his heart, he's looking down at that Dura-Ace group set and he's going, we're going back to super record. That's what I keep
EPS, baby. I need it. I need it. Okay, what's your fascination with Campagnolo?
It's the best.
Why? Is it the best in the sense that like you look at the Lamborghini and like the AC doesn't work and the heated seats might not work on a Wednesday, but like you get to say you own a Lamborghini?
It's like you could hang it above the mantle here.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like amazing. My first road bike ever came with Campag, and I've never ridden on anything else.
What was that? What's the first bike?
It was like just a really trashy 61 centimeter steel noodle. You know, but like it had 10-speed Campag Athena group. I never even knew. And then I remember I went
the
to
names Athena group set. Yeah.
Athena group set. Oh, it looks so nice. You know what I mean? People would come by and they'd be like, "Ooh, Campag," and I'd be like, "Yeah, for sure." You know. And at that time, Durace was doing that silver crank set.
Yeah. That was
the black
with
in
the yoki kind of something like that.
You know. So Campag to me has always been like, I don't know, it's my go-to, and I'll just never go back, you know, for sure.
Yeah, if I had a sixth bike, it'd have Campag on it.
And then you'd be like, damn it, why did I do this?
Yeah, exactly. Why it's so expensive?
It's so hard to get fixed.
Okay, we're going to give you a challenge.
Okay.
You're going to build a bike for me.
Sure.
Virtually in your mind for the audience members, for the kids at home. You have to use Campag EPS Super Records, so the brand new one.
So the brand new one.
New one.
I mean, here I am talking about how great it looks.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to use that. So that's done. But now you got like $4,000 left. So you got to buy a frame. You got to buy wheels, and you got to buy some like accoutrements. What do you do? $6,000 group set, and you got $4,000 to do the rest. What do you do?
We're running pretty tight on cash. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you're like, I need Campag. So we did Campag. So the budget's gone.
Budget's completely pooched.
Yeah.
I would talk to the fine folks at Firefly, and I would get you a custom titanium bike built up for sure. That's what I would do. That's my tie for sure. I see the thing is with bikes too is like, for me, bikes always have to have like a little bit of personality, you know, like
so you're not going to the store and buying like a Cannondale Super 6 and you're like, okay, I'm done.
No. And if I am buying a Cannondale Super 6, I'm getting one that's like 6 years old. You know, I'm getting like the Cannondale Super 6 Evo rim brake edition. Let's go, people. Big time. You don't want to ride that in the rain.
No.
Yeah.
You want to do zone 2 in your attic on that.
That's exactly right, for sure.
Okay, so you do the 6-year-old frame, wheels.
Oh, we're chucking
so you got like $1,000 left, my friend.
So we're going to go on the internet, and if it's old, maybe we can find some old Campy Bora, you know?
Rim brakes.
Yeah, big time. Ooh, those like the OG ones too with the nice carbon matte finish. Oh, they were trash, but they looked so good.
That's okay. You're tall. You don't want crosswinds. It doesn't matter at this point, right? And accoutrements. What are you doing for your handlebar tape?
Ooh, what am I doing for handlebar tape? I probably just.
Do you like the chunky like now you're getting like handlebar tape that's like massive, right? Super cushy.
On gravel, I'll go for some super cush. I'll like throw some gel underneath there. I'll throw some super. But on road, you want it to. You're gonna have a white saddle, white bar tape.
Perfect.
Big time.
Perfect.
You know, white hoods. Take those campy hoods off. Buy the white campy hoods. Put them on top.
I didn't even know Campy made white hoods.
Oh yeah. The DeRosa used to have white hoods for sure. Big time. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's what I would do. I would just
Okay. Time. Titanium frame, Campy, EPS, brand new one. Super old Boras.
Okay. So wait a minute. No, we got to take that back. Take the Boras off.
Yeah.
We've blown the budget on the frame and the group set. We can't probably even afford a chain, so we're gonna have to go with some just like trashy aluminum rims that we find on the internet.
Yeah.
And then save up our pennies till the next year to get a real chain. We got to get a chain.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna put a Campy chain on there.
No. You got to put something KMC.
KMC
like
gold. Yeah. Big time for sure. KMC gold. Hollow point, that's what you do.
Okay, perfect. Season 3, we'll bring the bike in. It's going to be good. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, next segment, we got rapid fire, big gear, small gear. You're going to choose. You got to be super fast, though, Lenny. Okay, super fast, like sub 50 seconds here. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, take the breath.
Yeah,
really hone it in. We kind of cheated because we kind of like went through some of these topics, so I kind of know your answers. But let's go. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Wax or drip?
Drip.
Okay. Super record or dirt race?
Super record.
Fucking stupid question. White handlebars or polka dot handlebars?
White handlebars.
Okay. Underbiked, overbiked?
Always underbiked.
Greenland or Vietnam?
What?
Yeah, keep going. Come on.
Greenland?
Okay, perfect. Jonas or Tade?
Oh, Jonas or Tade. We're going Tade.
Okay. Supreme or Hermes?
Amaze.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Fig bar or gummy bears?
Fig bar. Vegan.
Perfect. Liquid Death or San Pellegrino?
Liquid Death. Yeah.
Risk of bonking or a handlebar bag?
Oh, handlebar bag. Yeah.
Okay, SRAM or a garbage fire?
SRAM.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Controversial with the SRAM at the end.
Yeah,
okay?
big time.
Okay, let's be real. Let's talk about SRAM.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, I make fun of them a ton. I probably shouldn't, because now I ride SRAM on a mountain bike, but that's different. What are your feelings? Would you ever put it on a bike?
I've got it on my gravel bike.
Okay.
I've had nothing but issues. There's probably been a lot of issues with it, you know? But as a campy fanboy,
yeah,
I'm not going to go just be like trashing on Shimano the whole time. Like, get your fishing gear out of here, you know? And then like throw it on my gravel bike.
Yeah.
You know? I gotta stick with something. And like that Eckhart group said.
Looks nice, eh?
Yeah, looks nice. Could you find any parts when you're on a bike packing trip in the middle of nowhere?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so you go with SRAM.
Yeah.
And yeah, lots of issues, but that's fine.
That's fine. So with Jumbo's like amazing year, do you think they like validated SRAM in the market? They're like, look, if they can win the Tour de France and look amazing on SRAM, you can too.
Who? Oh, Jumbo. Yeah,
Jumbo.
yeah. No.
Yeah.
That was me. Yeah. I mean, I know it's already happening. I know people are like, as soon as they see like Jonas, you know, winning or any of them, you know, Sepp winning, they're like, SRAM, it's sick.
I've had the dirty thoughts. I've been like, okay, SRAM red. Maybe we'll do a little one chain ring on the front. Yeah. And, you know, a little 12 speed in the back. That would look cool, but be extremely painful.
I mean, I hear, okay, so I'm running SRAM 11 mechanical on my gravel. But I hear that the electronic stuff's better. I don't know.
Who knows? I'm not buying it. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, we'll have to see what the next group set looks like. What are your ventures next year?
Plan is to do Tour Divide. That's my big one, for sure.
Give me the stats. What's the lowdown?
Stats is Banff, Alberta, to New Mexico. Yeah, it's like almost, I think it's like over 3,000 kilometers.
God, and it's gravel, right?
Yeah, it's all gravel.
Okay.
It's like, so bike packing, self-supported bike packing race from Banff to New Mexico.
Outstanding.
And I'd like to do it in like 20 days.
And is that aggressive?
No, not at all. Someone, I think Lachlan did it in like 12 days.
Yeah, with sandals on.
Yeah, with flip-flops. Big time. Flip-flops and one stick of beef jerky, probably. Yeah, for sure. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not into the, no sleep and then just ride. I'll try to take it in and enjoy sleeping in the dirt for 3 weeks.
You got to enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Before cycling, before that whole world, did you ever see yourself doing these kind of things?
No, absolutely not.
So you're a big punk guy, metal guy.
Big time.
All that experience, does it translate to cycling at all? Is there any like transferable skills that we're talking about here?
When it comes to bike packing, sure. Not really in the roadie world. Like I remember when I first started riding road bikes.
Yeah.
I would go around and bark at people like I was still in the band. Like I'd see another roadie and I'd like riding around. I'd be going up the Stanley Park Hill. Man, looking back, wow. I would just like see another roadie and I'd be like, ooh, and like bark at them and they'd be like, what? Did that guy bark at me? Because like I don't know. That's
am I listening to Alexis on Fire right now?
Yeah. So like it was like that. But when it comes to bike packing,
yeah,
because like I've toured all over America and been all over Europe touring and sleeping in squats and in basements and the most disgusting places in the world. When it comes to sleeping in, some crappy spot in pouring down rain, I'm like, I've done something worse.
And you're just not crappy, right? You're usually in like some beautiful forest somewhere
big time
on the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Why did I ask the Greenland, Vietnam question? I just wanted to know, like, if you had to go anywhere in the world and do the cycling thing, obviously you're off to Mexico, but you're still in North America. Where would you go? Jump on the bike, explore a country.
Go to Spain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I want to do Badlands really badly.
Yeah. You want to be Rob Burton?
Yeah, well, I feel like I'd bring a little flair to the Badlands race, and spice it up. And, I guess I want to check out Girona, see what all these, influencer people are talking about,
I hear it's just like Pinarellos and lattes. And oat milk lattes. That's Girona.
They need a 2017 Super 6 Evo with Campy Super record coming by and showing them how to spice it up.
With a Liquid Death jersey.
Yeah, big time. Someone who's, Girona needs someone like me to come by and keep it loud. That's what I'm thinking.
Keep the stoke high.
Yeah, exactly. Big time.
Lenny, I kind of drilled you all day today, but tell me, what question do you have for me? I was just like this guy who was like, oh, we should ride together. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were like, yep, absolutely.
No, I was stoked. I mean, I'd watched a few episodes,
Yeah.
Knew you through the gram, and then was like, hell yeah, let's ride a jam. I want to meet new people. I want to ride with other people. Like, so getting out with you, I was like, and then you were like kind of hinted towards the, hey, maybe I partake in the left-handed cigarettes. And I was like, okay, for sure.
Yeah.
I think we got a vibe here, So like, yeah, I don't know what, where do you feel, where's the podcast going? What's next? How are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, like we up the production value now, so we have these like lights that change colors. So they're on theme for your brand new painted bike, which is fantastic for you. Where's the podcast going? I think it's just making sure people have, on a pragmatic sense, something to listen to when they're doing their Zone 2 rides in the basement that is relevant to them. Like, I hope someone in Vancouver or BC or even in Canada is like, wow, BC scene is pretty cool. They have this guy named Lenny. He's on the show. That's amazing. We have like world champions that we produce that are doing outstanding things. We had Nathan Clement last week.
Sick. So
I want to show diversity in I don't even want to call cycling a sport anymore. I want to call it like a community, a vibe, something that's amazing for humans to just do on a mental side, on a physical side. So I want people to feel like you can do cycling however you want. The Tyrone culture, I'll say.
Hell yeah.
Do it however you want to do it, man. And like people should not be I don't know, targeted or felt like they have to fit into rules. And I like my rules because I like exploring the limits. But yeah, I think everyone needs to get into the sport and enjoy it and feel included.
Love it.
Yeah.
Me too.
There you go. That's the vision statement. Is that good?
Yeah, no, that's great. I like the vision statement. It's going places for sure. Stoked.
Perfect. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
we're going to get some rides in. There's no doubt about it. Can you do the honors today and just shut her down on the Super Domestique Podcast?
Shut her down.
Oh, yeah. We got to...
Thanks for checking out the Super Domestique Podcast. Follow us on Instagram or find us at thelastdrop.cc to learn more.